Você que está ouvindo esse podcast, o que acha de uma empresa que sempre trabalha para trazer impacto positivo? Assim é o Google. Como? A Duda da Orbi é um exemplo disso. Ela usa a inteligência artificial para ajudar pessoas a recuperarem seus movimentos. É a tecnologia mais útil na vida das pessoas. E tem o Jefferson da Tributei, que usa inteligência artificial para facilitar o dia a dia das empresas. Eles e milhares de empreendedores geraram mais de 188 bilhões com as plataformas do Google. Tem que ser bom para todo mundo.
This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Lovely stuff.
Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, there will be no episode of The Lovely Show this week. We apologise for any distress caused, but we'll be back again next week with another lovely show for you lovely people. Instead, please enjoy this amazing, lovely new episode of Young Hot Guys. If you don't know the Young Hot Guys, they are Shane Daniel Byrne, Tony Cantwell and Killian Sundermann. They are young, dumb and full of merriment, and we know that you'll enjoy this show. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
I had a gerbil called Furball when I was a kid.
I thought that was going to be a little poem.
That sounded like a poem. And a gerbil called Furball.
I had a gerbil called Furball, and he was so class. I put Furball the gerbil right up my little ass.
They're attractive. Very attractive. Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my. Is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
So it was a poem.
I made it a poem just now.
But did you have a real gerbil called Furball?
Yeah.
And did
Okay.
you put him up your ass?
No, I didn't.
What
Unlike
happened to him?
Richard Gere, so say the Scientologists. Imagine that, just being like, I want to ruin this guy. I don't like the fact that now he's become Buddhist. Say a gerbil when it was
Did the
I
Scientologists
thought
say that?
was the
Yeah,
sequel
they
to
leaked that.
Ratatouille.
Yeah. Richard Gere's asshole. The less popular
I got it.
sequel.
Richard Gere, gerbil, up his ass. It teaches him how to tap dance.
It is mad though. You could just have something like that even if it's not true, it's kind of still like, hey Richard. I know it's not true, but all right.
You'd be thinking about that gerbil. That gerbil?
Gerbil.
You'd be thinking about that gerbil.
Now,
up there.
is this you or is the gerbil speaking?
Oh God. And tell me, does the gerbil control you? Is there a control center in your colon?
Richard Gere was a big heartthrob when I was a kid. That's who I remember as being a big
he's
heartthrob.
wonderful.
Him and Tom Cruise were. And then I think later, like George Clooney was
Yes.
the big one.
Richard has such a soft, nice, lovely, welcoming face, but it's also kind of strong and handsome.
You're on first name terms with him?
Richard, yeah.
Richard.
Myself and Richard.
I'm also nervous of saying his second name. I always get it wrong.
What do you say?
Greer.
Greer.
Jermaine Greer. You're thinking of Jermaine Greer.
You're thinking about Jermaine Greer.
Is it Greer?
No,
Gear.
that's Jermaine Greer.
Yeah. See, I got it wrong. I actually thought it was Greer, and there you
Richard
go.
Gere.
Richard Gere.
Top Gear.
Terry has a
Yeah.
couple of those. She can't say Ben Affleck. She says Ben Affleck. Like
That's
you're
weird.
genuflecting.
Genuflect.
And like she pauses before she has to say it. She could be like, no, like she'd be having a go at me being like, no, like actually, do you know who actually wasn't a bad Batman, but like he was a better Bruce Wayne, was Ben Affleck. And she gets really, she also doesn't know how to say Sigourney Weaver.
Ah, but come on. Who
It's
does?
tough. It's tough.
It's
Who
a made-up
does?
name, isn't it?
It's a
Her
made-up
parents made
name.
it up.
a
Yeah,
made-up
her parents
name.
made it up.
I think we should all do that. Make up names. I think that's.
You did.
I think that's a. Huh?
What's your stage name?
No, that's my name. My stage name is my name.
Yeah.
What I just added in my middle name. But I think we should all be trying to make up noises to name our children.
That's a good idea.
I don't know. Is that boring?
There's a good
No. It's a great idea. Something new. Something new for the phonics.
But then I suppose you're going to end up it being in
Elon
another
Musk.
language that means
There's a good
wet foreskin or something. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I don't know why. I was just thinking about a foreskin.
Wet foreskin is my father's name.
You can call me something else. I don't know.
There's a good sketch
Oh my God.
with the guy, what's his name? Fry and Laurie,
Flucka-Kraken.
where he goes into a police station. He's like, what's your name? And he goes, this is my name.
That's funny.
He's like, what? And he does the whole, and it's really clever with language.
Mm.
And he's like, how do you spell it? And he's like, well, just spell it how it sounds, which is good.
But it's
because,
also-
but that's how it end up.
Well, Prince,
you know,
becoming a
kids being
symbol.
named after noises.
A symbol that isn't even in the list of emojis. That's baller. That's like, do you know what? I don't even know actually what it is.
Was Prince's symbol basically like saying he's non-binary?
Yeah.
Non-binary.
Yeah.
without saying that.
Yeah, and he
That's
also
kind of what it was. It was a mix of male and female, whatever those icons are for, whatever they're called.
yeah, and he had that line in "I Would Die for You" where he's like, "I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I'm something that you'll never understand."
Is it also something to do with copyright?
I think he had the copyright of his own name.
Okay.
Mm.
No,
Prince Charles famously was a prince at the time.
Yes.
Now he's a dog.
No, he's a dog.
No, he's a dog.
You
King
old dog.
Charles. You dirty old fucking mutt.
Between the sheets.
Oh, he's a dog between the sheets and a monarch on the beach.
Yeah. That's all we have to say about him. That's all I have to say about him.
Did you have any weird pets?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Good to know.
We had
You, Shane?
No animals at all.
Jesus.
No
So you had
animals.
none in
4 boys,
school
no
to
animals.
do. No extracurriculars, bar scouts and youth theatre, and no animals.
No animals, no.
Oh my God.
We never had one. My parents had an animal that they kind of bought when my dad's father, my mother was ill at the end of her life. And they're like, oh, we'll get her a dog for company, whatever. And then the dog also went mad.
Oh.
So, yeah, they both went mad. So I don't think they ever wanted to replace it. They're like, oh, no, we had that dog and it was mad. I'm not getting another dog. I think that was it.
We
It's a
had
bit racist.
canaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my mum built like a big.
Coal mine.
No,
My mum built this coal mine and, well,
she would
she'd
send the canaries
down.
first.
Yeah.
And then when the canaries okay, she's
They
like,
were okay.
We were
could
going
go
through
she's like,
about
that canary,
6
stop singing. You better get in that lift.
Yeah.
I'm not going down that shaft looking for you.
Yeah.
All right.
And this would have been when we lived in rural Wales in the sort of the late 19th century, and there was a lot of that going on. But we had canaries, and my mum built like her own cage. She bought stuff from Woody and built Woody's and built her own thing. And then like we were like, that's unbelievable, man.
Sorry, I'm still laughing. She bought stuff in Woody.
Cross off of Woody. And where did she buy the other stuff? Buzz?
Yeah, you big idiot.
No, and then we were like, that's a great job, Ma, well done. And then Fox came in, ate all the birds.
No.
We did have foxes that hang around our garden.
Yeah.
We had them, and that was good. And one
That's
time,
not a pet. Sorry, are
one
you saying
time-
that as a pet?
no, but I mean, I'm just adding that in. But one time we were all watching it, and my cousins were there, and we were all looking at the window watching the foxes. And then, like, it was like a David Attenborough happened live, where a rat just appeared in the garden. What a time for him to stroll across the garden, because didn't the fox get him? And then didn't the other fox join in on getting him? And they fought and ripped the rat apart with their mouths, in half. And we were just looking at the window having an absolute great time.
That's the sequel to Ratatouille.
And one time the garden flooded as well, right? The garden flooded. And we were like, oh my God, the garden flooded. And then ducks came and sat in the garden as if it was a
Wow.
pond.
What the fuck was your garden?
I don't know. It's
What's
just a
going
whole
on?
thing.
Patagonia.
It's an old
the
house.
wild.
Oh, you wouldn't know. One time my brother climbed the tree. There was a pear tree at the time. In our day, there was a pear tree at the time. There's no trees anymore.
There's no trees
There's
anymore.
no trees anymore. They don't bring me pear trees anymore. But my brother climbed up the tree and there was half a mouse or something that some cat or whatever had decided, I'll finish that there.
What the fuck is going
Tony
on?
is a goira. He's thrown his head back, a goira.
Just the idea of it, like, it was pear trees back then. Like, I just totally fucking
Well, there was pear trees.
ignoring all trees. But people talk like that. And it was, do you know what? It was pear trees.
Back
There
then,
would have been
in
a
the
pear
90s,
tree at the
would have
garden.
been pear
It was
trees.
pear trees.
But the
Because we
pear
didn't have any
tree,
other
in
trees.
order for the tree to bear fruit, a pear tree has to have a male
Another-
and female
yes.
around. And then, so it didn't have any fruit for years and years. And then once autumn, the pear tree just grew. So I don't know where it came from. Did the breeze change? Did somebody build plant a new tree in their garden? But somehow the tree
Is
had
that
been
why they're
fucking.
called pears?
No, that's a different spelling of the word pear. P-E-A-R.
But is it maybe? No.
So
It
was-
isn't. It isn't. And I
there
think
was
if you
some-
think that, you're incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
That's foolish of you to go on that.
Because
So were
there's
there-
pairs of trees.
There's pairs of trees, yeah.
There was apple tree as well, but that was only cooking apples. For
Oh,
cooking.
yeah.
What do you do with loads? My parents now have loads because their garden. It used to be an orchard where our houses are. So there's like 3 big, like loads of apples, and they fall on you.
Are they sweet or just for the cooking?
They're cooking apples.
They're cooking,
And
yeah.
like, what do you do with them?
You make an apple
You
tart.
cook 'em.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 1 apple tart. Fine. You would be making 60 apple tarts for all these apples. Like there's loads and loads of apples.
I could do it with an apple
You
tart.
could put them outside in a nice display and say, "Cooking apples, help yourself." You could do that.
And then all the little boys who get sick from taking a bite from the cooking apples.
You can make
Yeah,
poutine.
and then Seamus Heaney would come back from the dead and write a poem about it. You could try. Have you tried that, Seamus Heaney?
No.
Okay, well, I
if you
think give
skin
that a
all the
whirl.
apples and then you put them in a little Bunsen burner with a little bit of water and then you and then you light it, and then you put it through with a little pipette, and you had to dilute each drop of the vapor. That's alcohol. You can make your own booze.
You could make your own booze.
Well,
you could
cider.
make yeast
Can you
for
make
bread
cider?
from an apple. You can do that if you soak it for a few days. If you want to do that.
So hang on, you're telling me that there was an
sound like a
immaculate
real-
conception from your pair,
Yeah.
essentially.
Not my old pair. They fucked.
So
They,
either they were getting down and dirty in the roots underneath. There was some down and dirty.
I think
root
it's
fucking.
it blows. It has to. I think it blows. Did you do that in school? Dispersal of thing, wind
Yes.
dispersal. That's one way of
One of
doing
them
it.
is just animals rubbing off the things.
But also birds shitting. Birds shitting.
shitting.
Birds will eat the seed of one thing and then shit it out somewhere else, and that's what plants
You're
trees.
giving real like RT presenter who knows fucking everything vibe right
Well,
now.
I know a bit about
It's
this
like,
topic.
and
yeah.
what about like the way they're like, what about sometimes you have leftover apples? What would you do with them, Shane? So what you could do is you
There's
can make yourself
loads.
a lovely apple tart. Sometimes we have too many. Do you know what we do? We put them in a beautiful glass jar outside the house, and we put a little sign. We say free apples. They're gone by the afternoon. They're gone.
Yeah, it's
They're
kind of
gone,
like
Brendan.
the middle segment on the Claire Byrne or
Yeah.
one of those shows. It's a magazine morning show that does like, we open with another massacre in Ukraine, and then before the break, don't forget we're asking your top sun cream tips or whatever. That it's kind of one of those. But those people are always so happy to be on.
They have so many
Thanks so much for
tips.
having me on, Claire. Well, of course, apples are brilliant, and you can cook them, you can boil them, you can stew them, and of course the neighbours be so glad. And my father always put sugar in the apple tart. Did he? My father did the same. Did they? Yeah.
I
And
hate
what
take
about
a
the
break.
children
We'll
at
take a
this
break.
time of year eating their apples? What would they do?
You can't get the kids to eat apples anymore. When we were kids, you were given an apple and that was enough. You ate your apple.
And it
You
was
ate
pears
your
back
apple.
then.
It was
But-
pears back then.
It was a pear tree.
We
at
didn't
the
have
time when I
dinner. It
was
was a
young.
pear
We
tree.
didn't have a pear tree.
You didn't have your dinner. It was a pear tree.
Well, it wouldn't be the female pear tree around, or a male
Yeah.
pear tree
It was
around.
all pear trees.
And you wouldn't go like trick or treating because it was a pear tree.
You wouldn't go trick or treating. You'd knock on the door and you'd say, "Sorry, I couldn't trouble you for a pear." by any chance."
yeah.
And there'd be a partridge in it sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
In the pear tree,
The partridge in the
yeah.
pear tree.
And that'd be kind of a Christmas thing.
Yes,
Christmas,
yeah.
the
You'd
partridge
kind of have
come
that.
around.
The whole. I remember
Pear
my
tree.
father. He'd have 2 turtle doves as well, and that'd be
Yeah.
kind of lovely.
yes,
And then
yes.
5 gold rings.
there'd be 5 gold rings.
Yeah, in the barn brack. And, well, we had to have 5 in our. in our
Remember the
day 'cause there was
brack?
5 kids.
Yeah, and you'd say,
5 gold
rings.
Yeah.
There was a
4.
good joke about that. Someone said it was like it was a bit rude of the person to make it very apparent how much more they preferred the 5 gold rings.
That is funny.
Oh yeah.
How much better they thought the gold rings were than all the other shite.
3
There was-
French hens don't get a look in.
No.
2 turtle doves and a pie. Yeah. They like the partridge.
Alan Partridge in a pear tree.
Alan Partridge.
That
he does
joke.
that. That was.
Can we give up with that joke?
Which?
Just people taking a photo of Alan Partridge and put him in a pear tree and just taking.
Was that a thing at the Christmas
Oh,
time?
everyone's doing it.
But he already made that joke. If you actually were a fan of Alan Partridge, you would have seen the Alan Partridge Christmas
Well, people
spell
do it as
special.
a thing online, and it's just it's given Joe.ie like 10 years ago.
I'll tell you what I'm sick of. A joke that I keep seeing is because the Olympics is on at the moment, and gay men like are so dull on the internet. Like, there's a type of gay man who will just post like, thinking of cutting my hair. That's the tweet. Like, that's what he's sending it. It's like
Yeah.
4,000 likes. It's like because they're hot or whatever. But they're all posting whatever sport is on. Doesn't matter what sport
Gotta
is
be the
on.
swimmers, right?
Doesn't matter what sport. You think swimmers, divers, you think that kind of thing, but they'll like whatever sport is on, they'll just video or take a picture of an athlete on their television and go, guess I'm into sport now.
That's good.
It's not good. It was maybe
Yes.
good like a long time ago. But
That's great.
No,
They're
because
all
I think what they're
doing
saying is they
it.
fancy the arse off
Yeah,
that
because
person.
surprise, surprise, an athlete is attractive. Like, surprise.
When is the pendulum going to swing back? Why can't I be posting pictures of birds doing the long jumps arse and saying, I want that arse? Like,
Sorry, I
it's
didn't
not
think you were going to say arse. I think you were going to say
Yeah.
board and long jump full stop. You're like, the board and long jump arse.
arse. Like, and then I'm an actual piece of shit because I haven't,
Have to say, do you know what I like? Don't get me wrong, right? I love the gymnast as much as anybody else. Somebody else shot put boards. The old javelin boards.
So
You know what I
thought you were
want?
gonna go, hey, look, obviously, like the lads are great and all, like they're fucking.
Some of the
Can I even say
boards.
this? Some of the fucking boards are actually.
You
cracking.
want to see this one from China weightlifter? Oh. She'd crush your head between her thighs. Is that gross? Sorry.
I love how Irish people, everyone just says the Olympics.
The Olympics.
The Olympics.
You said it there. Everyone says it. The Olympics.
Roll the tapes back.
The
I
Olympics.
don't know how that would work if we're still recording.
Olympics.
The Olympics.
I like that in the film Matilda. Lavender Brown says she was a thing, and she in the Olympics.
In the Olympics.
Stuck out. We used to do that as a kid a lot.
That's very funny.
I think an Olympian is. We were walking through the airport a couple of weeks ago, and we saw them. We
Wow.
saw the Olympians. And I was like,
It's so
I was
cool.
like, oh my
It's so
God,
cool.
Anna, they're Olympians. And she was like, yeah, whatever. Like, they're just wearing like, I'm like, no, these are Olympians. They're
They're the
different. They're
Olympians.
different from all of us.
It is funny though that
They're
the
Olympians.
Olympians are essentially like the best in Ireland. Like that's what you have to be. That's less impressive for me.
No, it's not.
It is for me.
But
gotta qualify.
it takes an
No, you
Olympic
gotta-
effort to get there, Tony.
It's not.
It
It's not-
does.
no, it's not. You're the best in Ireland. You got to qualify for the Olympics.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh.
do, yeah.
You don't just get to go to the Olympics.
Oh,
Because you're from Ireland.
well, that's
Yeah.
good to know.
No,
Yeah,
you got to
that's
qualify
kinda
for
hard.
the
Oh,
Olympics.
that's good. Okay, grand.
When they told us in school that the Olympics was done in the nude, like I have never, nothing was ever the same ever again. I just could not stop thinking about that. I was like, they would just do it in front of everybody?
Yeah.
All guys? No girls? Just a lot of fellas? And I know the guys are at home listening. They're like, for sure, 100%. We all, it just, I don't know. I'm actually a bit lost for words thinking about it now.
Do you reckon it was tough
So
though? Like,
beautiful.
do you reckon like when they're doing like the sprint or whatever, like that
That'd
they'd
be-
all just run into each other and then all fuck each other, and then it was like whoever could get back up from the shag and finish was the quickest. Like, because they definitely would have been like this.
The
is a bit-
wrestling and stuff. There wasn't that many events, was there? But the
What did
I'd
they
say
do?
the wrestling was very
They had a
hungover.
race probably, something, yeah, lifty,
something lifty,
throwy,
something
throwy.
throwy. Yeah, they had. I don't know. Like there's the classic ones, and then it wasn't on for ages,
Yeah,
and then they brought it back.
but like they're coming back being like, yeah, let's bring the discus back. Like, fuck that shit. Do you know what I mean? Bring that, like,
Frisbee.
we don't throw discuses anymore.
No, you think that, but then when you watch it, whatever you watch, you tend to, the sports you don't really
I
get
know,
to see.
I do. Yeah,
whatever
I
you
know.
watch, you
Yeah,
get
you're right.
taken in and you're like,
Yeah.
this is deadly. You do get into it, like whatever one is on. I kept trying to watch it the other day, and I don't mean to be bashing RTE, right? Because the only TV I have that would show it would be BBC and RTE. BBC were showing various bits. They were showing a tennis match, the full tennis match, because it was Andy Murray, and I was like, okay, I'm bored of the tennis. And I went to go look at what RTE had on, and it was just them sitting there in the studio all the time,
They were
every
shiting
time,
on the whole
every
fucking time.
I was
Yeah.
like, put on one of the games.
I know.
Show me something.
I missed the
Give me
Irish
bit
one
of
swimming because
fencing.
I was flicking through the two, as it was just nothing but them.
They were
fucking
doing
shiting on.
nothing, and I'm
then I went
sorry
on,
now.
and then I went on the player, right?
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
and then I was trying to like recap. I was like, is there any way of just watching the Olympics on demand? Is there any way of just watching the thing that you wanted to watch in the Olympics on demand? And then they had all of the times that, like, just the broadcasts. They're all 4 hours long, and all the descriptions of them are like, you know, so and so sits down to look at the day's Olympic game. What fucking sports did you do?
You don't need
What
to
sports
see
did
that.
you cover? And can you not just put each thing on the player so I can look at? I know it's a lot of work, but like this is where
It's a
where you
spectacle.
do it.
That's what it's
I
about.
want to watch archery. I want to watch some archery.
Yeah, I
The,
can show you some archery. I'm very good
just
at
to
it.
go back, because I was getting called stupid for the pear tree thing. If every
Jesus
single
Christ.
person who was the best in their country at the thing, you would have, like, how many countries are in the world?
About
266.
192 or something like that.
In every single event, that's how many people you would have in every single.
Look, it's a lot, but then there's a lot of fucking people walking out with the flags.
Are you
then-
okay?
No, but then like that's.
You're after bringing that up to counter Tony's argument. a
No,
few
I was just
minutes
trying
ago.
to think it through.
Were you looking at the phone in your mind? Is that what took you so
I
long?
was
Yeah.
looking at the phone in my mind. Eyes rolling to the back of my head. Go to your happy place.
I see
like
you're
that.
wearing as well. I just noticed you're wearing a unicorn t-shirt, and the unicorn has rainbow fetlocks and a rainbow tail. And not being bad, boy, you gay, bro?
It looks like
What
a
are
little My
you,
Little Pony.
gay?
This is
It's no ankle sock.
Why are
but
you a
it's fine.
brony?
Carlsbad and a musician friend of mine, and it's a cool T-shirt.
It is a cool t-shirt.
It
I
is
was just
cool. I
wondering
like a
if you were
stitch.
gay.
I do like a stitch.
and maybe it means that, but it's a.
For the moment, this is what you're
tell
doing.
Anna.
Do you know about the handkerchief game of gay kind of like?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
They used to
What about
have
the earring?
They used to have a code of
It's your left one, right?
where you had your handkerchief. I don't know if the gay year is really one, but they used to have a code of So if you have a yellow handkerchief sticking in your pocket, it means you like piss.
Wow.
Piss, yeah. And then if you have this,
you have a
if
yellow
you have
one?
a
Can I
red
get
one
the
in the
yellow one,
back
please?
pocket on the right,
No, just yellow actually.
yeah, it would mean you're like top or
Sir, you
bottom.
stink.
If you're going cruising or not going cruising, they'd have a little code like that. They also had, I can't think of the name of it now. I think this was more London-y. They had a whole language. It's driving me mad now.
Cockney rhyming slang? Is that gay?
No. It wasn't that. It was a whole actual, like a little language that they'd say secret things in.
Have a gav,
I
you
can't
goo,
think. Kind of more like that.
have a gav.
Shall you and me go up
Cough
the
a
apple
cough.
and pears if you can
I
piss
keep
on me?
thinking of Manx, which is not the language I mean. That's all I can
Manx
think of.
Gaelic.
I don't know. I can't think of that.
How good is your gaydar? Is it good?
Yeah, because when you're young, you smell it as well. Even before you're kind of accepted yourself as gay, or you're even fully convinced you're gay, you still know by looking around. Like, I think of all the long looks I had with different boys over the years of growing up, and it was like what we were looking at was gayness in each other's eyes. Gay guys also do it's called the gay stare, where if you're walking along the street and there's a gay coming, you'll stare at each other and you like fully lock eyes and everything.
Wow.
And then you just keep moving on. You just do it. And it's kind of like a little
all
kind
this
of moment to go, yeah, me
eroticism is
too.
happening around
It's
us.
not some. It can be erotic, but it's also just me too.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit of that. You just kind of know.
It's kind of like Men in Black, like, oh, you're an alien as well, actually.
I
You're
went to
alien
someone's
under there
wedding
as well.
years ago, right? I went to someone's
You looked at
wedding.
the groom.
No,
While he was on the
I
altar.
was friends with the groom.
And he turned around with Thriller eyes, like Michael Jackson.
But there was one of these. There was a boy. This is when I was maybe 23.
Okay.
And there was a boy who was at the wedding, similar age to me, loads of long eye contact. And I was like, this feels like Smoochieville, but it wasn't Smoochieville. And then, like 2 years later, I was with the people whose wedding it was, and they were talking about gay stuff, whatever. And he was like, "Our friend, though, I can't remember his name, Patrick." Was like, "He's definitely," and I was like, he hasn't come out, but we all think he's probably gay. And I was like, "Is he the one at the wedding who was this?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's him." And I was like, "Yeah, he's gay for sure." I was like, also,
Just from a look.
if just from looking,
Just
if
from
all
a
your
look.
friends, like, if you have someone, there's still people who aren't out, right? That's still real, and that everyone's journey takes different amounts of time. If sometimes I don't want to spook anyone, if you're listening to this and you're one of those people, I don't want to spook you out. But if you and all your friends think somebody is probably gay, right? If you all go, I think he's probably gay. He's never said it. I don't know what to do. They're probably right.
Yes.
I think that you're probably right.
Yes.
And I think sometimes, I know that everyone should have their own journey, but I think sometimes it's good to just say it out straight.
You can set the wheels in motion.
I think so, a little bit. If you're into your 30s and you're still kind of humming and
I
hawing.
think one of your friends is gay, maybe just write a tweet saying this person's gay. Or
Yeah,
something like
post
that.
to your Instagram
do
grid
an
and
Instagram
say,
live.
gay
Say, guys,
person.
so I want to talk about someone you all know, they're a friend of yours, and just do it on it, because that way you'll get the news out quicker.
That's essential.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you
That's
just
actually
actually
definitely
need to...
not
Just get it
something you should
moving.
do.
Get it moving.
Do you have any friends, though? Like, because
I have, yeah.
Okay. Good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
No, I've had a couple of friends across, and I've done, various different activities, whether it be, without naming it, because I don't want to out anyone here, but like, I've got a couple of people who are straight,
Yeah.
but they are gay.
Right.
They are gay. They're gay. They are very gay.
Like they go on gay or
like
what?
they like I've never actually, are there extremely camp, like straight men?
Yeah, I think so.
Are there though?
Yeah, I think there are.
And who like have a love for like the finer things. No, there's a couple of people that I'm like, and they're kind of like, I don't know, and maybe it's my outdated I grew up on 90s TV stereotypes about what I think is a gay characteristics. I don't think so though, because even looking back, I don't know.
You wouldn't do it the other way around. If there's a gay guy who likes traditionally more butch straight boy things, they're like football fans and they like doing whatever, and they like, I don't know, steak and pints and all like whatever. If they're more like along that, you wouldn't go, are you sure you're not straight?
Yeah.
You'd believe them because they're like, well, sexually I'm attracted to men.
Yeah.
You'd believe them, but you wouldn't go the other way. You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't go, come on now, just tell us if you're straight.
Are you straight?
You can tell us. So I think there are. I mean, what is campness? What is the feminine? These are all just weird expressive things that come out of us
100%.
naturally.
And I think a lot of things have been kind of pigeonholed into the kind of straight and gay thing because there wasn't a big enough kind of spectrum for things. And there could even be, I think we're going to see even more and more. I mean, this person might even be trans. Like this person actually might even like, you know what I mean? There might be different degrees to it that I'm not fully au fait with, but he seemed pretty gay.
He seems gay though.
Seems pretty gay. He's with it.
Seems pretty gay.
I don't know. Seems pretty gay. Bro.
Yeah. It's
If
like-
anyone is listening, if you're one of those people who hasn't told anybody that you think you're probably gay yourself, just do it. Just do it. Tell someone. Tell one person.
Or do you know
It's
what you can
so exciting, and it's such a fun part of life when you do it. It's so exciting. You know what happens? You start. You're
Start
like
looking at men on the street.
Yes, it does though. Your sex drive shoots up because you're like, you start to tell people in the world, so it's more real. And then you're like, God, everyone's so fucking hot. It's like a really fun it's a fun time, and then you can't stop talking about it as well. You're like, you tell somebody on the Tuesday, and then by Friday night you're out for drinks, and you're like, I don't know, as gay, like, you know what I mean? Speaking of gay, like, you get really into it so quick, and then you're talking to some random person to smoke, and you're like, hey, for me, look, I'm as gay as they come, right? You know me, honey. Like, you just get into it. You will shock you how quick you take it all on board. It's it is a curse as well, right? It's very annoying.
Oh yeah, sure.
But everyone forgets, like, that's a great time and it's a tough time. But it's also like, absolute surfing and beauty and fireworks. It's very exciting. I don't know, surfing metaphorically. Oh yes. There's something kind of great about it as well. So if you haven't told them, tell one. Do
you know what? Tell us. Go into that anonymous thing. There's a little anonymous link on our website on Instagram.
Yeah, it'll
and
be
if
anonymous.
you actually are, and maybe you don't have to come out now, but you can just tell us if you are gay and you're just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
fine.
and then
You
we'll
can
read it,
fill
and then
out.
we'll be like,
we'll
oh my
speak
God,
to you.
somebody witnessed it. Yeah.
We'll speak to you on the next one, and then at least you'll anonymously have told us, and we can talk about it with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So go into our link in bio.
And the lesbos and the
And the
bisexes and all
lesbos.
the
Do
rest.
it. Gender
all
fluid.
the rest,
Do it.
all the non-binds, whatever you are. Tell us. Everyone come out to us in the DM.
Yeah.
But don't be blocking up with little jokes. We don't want them. Do tell us the truth. Don't be people going, I'll send them one of them. So
I actually think
see
I'm
if
gay
they
or
read it out.
something.
Yeah. Don't do that. Oh, I don't know, whatever.
No, like someone
also,
be like,
sometimes you just do a thing.
Imagine it was like some, granddad who has a wife and like grandchildren.
You need to
and stuff
go
like
for
that.
it. You need to go for
so
it.
good.
Dump that bitch.
Yeah.
Get some
her.
cock. You guys have this language here, fucking Gaelic? Don't mind if I do, am I right?
What are you guys speaking? Fucking manky Gaelic or some fucking shit, mate? I feel like I took the bloom out of it.
No, Dara O'Brien, he speaks Gaelic. Dara.
I like you Southern Irish comedians. He speaks Gaelic, doesn't he?
What is that? Why do they have to say O'Doherty? Why can't they just behave and just say it correctly?
Why can't they say sixth correctly? Because they're fucking morons, the whole lot.
They say S-I-C-K-T-H.
They hear Northern Ireland
T-H.
and they assume that there's another area called Southern Ireland.
Oh yeah, that bit. But I mean, the names they get wrong. I don't understand.
Doherty is how people in the
Welsh,
north
there's a
say it
Welsh
as well.
thing as well.
I
Yeah.
think it's another Celtic pronunciation.
Where did they
of it.
got that from? They got that from
The bloody neighbours.
That's why they have it
the
in
ones
the-
next door, the ones we don't like on the
Ross
block.
over the water there. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Tell you who married a Scot. Saoirse Ronan.
Did he?
Saoirse Ronan. That was announced today. Obviously, we're recording this in the past.
She married a Scot.
She married a Scot over the weekend.
Good for her.
Good for her. She kept
Andrew
it private.
Scott?
Keep
She
those
kept it
Celtic
private.
babies going.
Wait, was it that she married a Scot or that she got married in Scotland?
She got married in Scotland. I don't think it was a Scot. Because it was your man.
She can marry who she likes. She can marry her own. She can marry a dog if she wants. That's what also I like her about.
It's a famous actor as
Well, I
well.
love my
think.
dog. I'm not going to marry my
he's an
dog in
actor and
Scotland.
stuff. Yeah.
I feel like he's in costume dramas. I don't know why I think that.
Period things.
Yeah, period things.
There was-
Anyway, yeah.
You know when people say about period dramas, I just love the period, I just love the period.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean, though? I don't really get
Well,
it.
I do love period dramas. And I don't know if it's
Like
I love the period.
Jane Austen stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Me and my mum watched all that stuff. But then we also...
I do not get it. I
We
feel like
also
it's speaking to someone else.
Absolutely love it. I love it. Watch it with my mum all the time. Like Pride and Prejudice, not the Colin Firth one. Unbelievable. Such a good film.
The
What?
Keira Knightley one.
Yeah, Keira Knightley one. And she all Keira Knightley's ones, unbelievable. And then do you know what happened? We started watching Game of Thrones together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were watching that. And then we were like, this is also a costume drama. It had all the same things. It's just people talking to each other in fancy ways.
Yeah.
I'll
Just
take that
all-
though, but
all-
I just don't give a shit about the noble gentry, and I don't give a shit about dukes or anything like that, or where someone's bestowed, or debutante balls, or
Well, no, it's all about the social pressures of the time and women's roles and men's
But
roles. and-
only in
kind of-
those upper classes, though.
Well,
but
no,
but what
no.
But what about the
no,
social
because
pressures of someone like giving a hand job for a glass of gin in the streets of London, hoping not to get cut up by Jack the Ripper?
Well, that stuff that happens to you.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
that's
you
a
get cool
better
ones.
show.
What you just write a
You
different show?
don't like the fancy ones in the big houses.
Give a shit about
I
that.
get that, but
Yeah,
you
but
know
then
what
a
I
lot of them-
sometimes
I
think?
don't like their
Sometimes
descendants,
good
so-
stories you have to see past
Read
that.
Sherlock Holmes then.
Yeah, read
I don't
Sherlock
wanna
Holmes.
read
Sherlock
Sherlock
Holmes is also
Holmes.
class. It has you want the hand job in the streets of London? Read Sherlock Holmes.
Does he have
What page?
No, but he has stories about that kind of stuff, like more the seedier, dirtier underside.
Ella, wank me, please, Watson.
Sometimes you have to see past those things just to find a
Come
good
take
story.
me
though.
by the hand job.
Call Me
Maury
by Your
Wankney.
Name came out, and loads of people were like, "Oh, I just can't. They're just so rich. I just can't see past their privilege."
I don't
And
mind
was
that.
like, I think do see past their privilege, though, because it's a really good story.
I just don't see how a Jane Austen story. It's just not for me.
But it's
There's no dopamine I get from seeing a woman
thinking about
not knowing who she's going to get with.
These upper class rich people in that time who were like lorded gentry and owned fucking Ireland and half of the world and stuff like that, and they were all having horrible, miserable times, and they were all cold all the time because they were in these really badly architecturally designed rooms which had very high ceilings and very big windows. But tiny fireplaces, and they were all
They'd want to
freezing
come and
cold.
get the old retrofit.
They need a retrofit.
They'd need the
insulation.
retrofit.
There'd be an F
They need
rating
to
on
get
that.
kind of
Need
stuff.
a compression boiler for a
Need
start, and then
compression
they can get
boiler.
up to the full
They
retrofit
were
in 2 years'
freezing
time.
cold, and they hated each other, and they were all worried about being talked about, and they all were being talked about, and it was just an awful time for all of them. I like finally. I'm like,
I
they're
like
having an awful
Remains
time.
of the Day, which
that's
is a modern
wonderful.
book
Yeah, yeah.
about the time, but that's not about the rich people, it's about the staff.
Yeah. But like most of them are about the staff. Like that's an element of all of them. Like
Just seems very kind of like conversational, and the conversations don't really pique my interest.
financial worries are always a part of these stories. Always. Like the fear of falling into the underclass. Like that's always.
I also
Legacy.
just look at them and I think, you think you're so fucking great, but like, I got a phone. Do you know what I mean? You're not embarrassed.
Yeah.
You're not embarrassed.
Ring
Like,
someone.
You
Go ahead
give,
and ring
you
someone.
give
You
all that
can't.
up. You give all that shit up for a fucking. I got a phone. I can go on like fucking Reddit. Like, what a joke. What a joke of life. I look at you like an ant. You know? Pathetic. You don't have a phone. Like,
But they had better memories. You know that our memories are being affected by having all the
I don't need
technology.
a fucking
He
memory.
doesn't need a memory. He has a phone.
Brains, here's like one for you. Brains are for having ideas, not for storing information. Okay?
Yeah, but but they should be, because
You're-
everything we have now could go away in a matter of days. Everything we have could go away in a matter of days and collapse.
It won't though.
Well, hopefully not.
That's
or
the
hopefully
noise of
they
it all
figure out
going
a way
away.
to do it sustainably. Because
I
if
mean, like, it won't.
Yeah, but it might.
And it's not hubris to assume that tomorrow will come when tomorrow is come.
Okay, sorry.
I think
very different. Like the sun, the solar system, like running again, and some major. There was like a massive issue with that Microsoft update, and no one could fly for 2 days.
Yeah, good for them. But like, what difference? Okay, so the internet goes to shit. So we're back to about 1995 again. So what?
No, pre-95, we're back to nothing. You could end
How are
up
we
with
back to
no.
nothing?
You
We're
could end up with
pear trees.
You could end up with just pear trees. That's what you could, because there might be some kind of giant eco-revolution at some point where all the governments of the world are overthrown and everyone is killed because the
big what if.
planet has to. I think it's closer than you might think. This is my.
I
this
know
is my
you
hot
think
take.
that.
What are you
This
planning?
is my hot take. That eventually then people go, like the fact that we have the data centers in Ireland that uses more electricity than all of our houses combined. So it's like, what's the point in us turning off the lights in the evening, because they're just going to keep doing that. So all these kind of things that eventually people might take back the power of the world, and then we're all left with nothing.
And do you have a
planes
plan
will
then?
fly.
So if you don't have a plan, then why are you worrying about it?
What I'm saying about I don't have a plan, but not that I'm worried about it, but I think that might happen. But I'm saying that it is important that we keep memories, keep the full capacity of our brains going in case we need to use all those different ways again.
I don't think that being able to remember a phone number is going to help me find clean
No, but
water.
they could remember things in ways that were more that were deeper than we even were aware of
I think
now.
we have stretched our brains so much bigger beyond
much
there.
big.
So much big beyond there. How much? Like, I have more in my head than the entire cast of Bridgerton.
No,
mean?
I
you
have
don't.
more information
You mean
in
the
my head.
characters in Bridgerton?
I know more. I could probably know more song lyrics. I probably know more names of people, actors' names. I know more facts. I know more about the world than the entire cast of some fucking period drama. I have all that in my head right now. Even without my phone, if I showed up, I'd be a fucking god. They're pathetic. But also, so I.
Yeah, but do you know how the
Why are you
So
so
my
mad
memory-
at
do you
them?
know some feel of
'Cause
a
it's
summer
just-
breeze on your chin as it flows through? Do you know the side of the clouds as it softly eases into a gentle July? You're not living, Tony.
I get that, and I get that.
fizzy feeling underneath one's petticoats when a gentleman caller might look at one for one moment alone.
I
Brief
can go
glimpse of a man's ankle when he's wearing ankle socks.
Time how quick it takes me to find tits on my phone.
Why are you so charged about? Why are you so mad about this?
Because I think people have a level of nostalgia that they look back that is less advanced, and they don't take enough gratitude or enjoyment in what we have right now, that we are allowed to be gods. We are allowed to be information gods. And that's not some hubris, like, aren't we?
that
and
just
I'm
sounds
joking a bit.
lot like hubris.
Well, and I'm joking as in like they're pathetic, but I'm
are
also
we
like,
not gods?
but we look at ourselves like we're shit, and we're not. And we look at it, everything's going to shit, but it's not. Everything's great.
I think you're
And we're fine, and we know
trying
everything.
to unravel your Catholic guilt, but I think that for me anyway, like all these things are all like produced in such a horrible way that I find it hard to enjoy all these things, and that's the that's the guilt that I try to get rid of. But I do like all the things that you have are really like produced in a very upset, broken system, and it's hard to take joy from a smartphone when it is fucking, you know, like the
A child
makeup
mined
of
the
this.
cobalt.
Yeah. So a duke then wondering who he's going to be betrothed to, while he's also fucking, you know, testing the fucking sharpness of his blade on some village boy when he's off at war. Do you know what I mean?
I don't look at a duke from back then and think he's some sort
He's
of
a piece of shit.
moral goodness.
Yeah, but
maybe you know, Mr. Darcy, because he does seem
We've got
to
more respect for human life than we ever have. And it's been exploited, absolutely. But we've more respect for human life and health and have a longer lifespan than we ever have. And I'm not going to look at statistics to overlook how awful things are. I just think, hey, look, it's not as bad as everyone says all the time. And we're not hurtling off a cliff. And we actually have a lot of really cool stuff.
cool. Well, I think
that
will we leave it there before we break into a sort of Joe Rogan-esque
it does feel.
four-hour-
It does
How
feel.
is Joe Rogan-esque?
It's just I just mean I'm worried about talking about things that I don't know about.
How is gratitude for the good things now anti-fucking woke? Or how is that stirring up some weird
No,
kind
it's
of...
not that it's about not about
wokeness.
woke,
No, just
anything like that.
I'm worried I'm going to start talking about things I don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's Rogan-y.
And maybe you seem to really know about this stuff. I appreciate your like trying to not fucking feel horrible and guilty all the time. I think that's really cool.
Okay, so how much did like Mr. Darcy care about his world? How much did he know about his world?
I feel like we're having a few conversations then at once.
So like,
He's the character.
what does he do for his community? Like, what is anyone doing? You know what I mean?
I don't think
feel-
they're good people. I don't think any of them are good people. I just think sometimes when like it's raining and a guy and like, you know, these like in a nice
He's
suit
over-
tells
yeah.
the woman that he loves her and he's always loved her. I kind of like that moment, and this piano and the music in the background, it makes me feel something. I'm sitting next to my mum and
Killian
there's something we've
likes
shared.
period dramas.
Look, Terry loves him too.
and that's
And I like
that's
my...
one fact.
That's
Yeah.
one fact.
And you think that we're too miserable about the world and think we have a pessimistic view of who we are and what type of
Yes.
world
Well,
we
it
have
was-
now in the dawn of technology.
Yes, that is the direct response to what Killian thinks. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know that I'm disagreeing with you.
I know you
So
disagree
that's
with me.
why we're charged.
But it has gotten
But
to...
you both disagree with me.
Killian likes period dramas. I don't like them that much. You don't like them at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right. Okay, so there's
we're
a lot of
split-
threads.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
threads.
There's a lot
And
of threads.
My thread started with them thinking they're so great, but, you know, they don't have YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, they'll
Okay.
have YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's true. They don't have YouTube.
So,
yeah.
laughed at.
Who's laughed at?
I'm laughing at them. Look, we don't need to fucking look. They
If you're
didn't
not
do it.
careful, I'm going to suck you off. I
Okay,
swear
here we
to
fucking go.
God. I swear to God.
Ding, ding, ding. Well, we have surely been talking for a long time.
We have.
About a range of topics, and I think maybe we'll never talk again.
Yes, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Juicy.
Well done, boys.
Hey, mate, well done.
Well done.
You bloody Southern Irish as doing it as per.
I've got to say, I love your little Southern Irish podcast. It's really funny the way you make up. It's actually just the sound of your voices and your accents. That's what makes me laugh.
Do you know I was at a festival once, right? And I was at a table with English performers. They weren't comedians, they were a different type of performer. And somebody came over and said, "Oh, I love your videos or whatever," and took a picture with me, took a selfie with me.
Oh.
Right? That was nice, yeah, pleasant. You know what the woman said from England? She said, "Oh my God, are you like an Irish celebrity?" And I was like, I don't mind being made fun of for someone asking me to take selfies. That's all. That is funny. Make fun of that by all means. But I've never heard the word Irish sound so belittled. Like you're
dismissive.
you're just an Irish. How cute. How cute. How sweet. How twee.
Oh, you're just a little muddy little.
And it's
pig.
hard for me to complain about because it sounds like I'm going, no, excuse me, I'm a huge celebrity. It's not that.
yeah.
No.
I'm trying to defend like,
Shit, what do you say
she
to
doesn't
that?
even know that she said it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then
And this is on
that's when you
Irish
join the RA.
land.
That's when you join the IRA.
And
That's when I knocked on the
I
door.
joined the IRA.
Cloak and Dagger, yeah.
And I'm out on maneuvers all weekend. I'm exhausted. I'm trying to do gigs in the night time.
Yeah, it's hard.
And they have me up the mountains. They told
Oh,
me where all the stuff
God.
is, by the way. I could tell you. I can't. I'm not going to say
I
it
could
on
tell
air.
stories, but
I
I
could
won't
tell you where-
because I
Those
get
lovely eyes. and
because
that
they'll
mouth.
shoot me in the kneecaps. But
If
I could tell you.
I could tell
You in a
if I
balaclava,
can.
though, those eyes in that mouth. So you'd be fucking...
Make sure it's not a yellow one.
No, I don't want to be pissed on. Anyway, they love dirty protest. That's what they're all about.
Mm.
Is that IRA?
Well,
Thank you for listening to the
thank you
weird
for
and
listening
wonderful
to the
world
Weird
of
and
young
Wonderful
guys.
Wonderful Bonus
time.
podcast.
We've had gay culture. We've had pessimism. We've had
Optimism.
Denialism.
Denialism. I'm not denial.
And just straight up nihilism. Actually.
Nihilism.
Yeah. A bit of that. Touch of that too.
My
of that
brother, Nielsism.
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 Voice Niels.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's in Sydney.
He's in Sydney.
Wohnt in Sydney.
Wohnt in Sydney.
Wohnt.
Ist Tischler in Sydney. But anyway, he did the door for the Fall Guy. Ryan Gosling breaks through a door. My brother built it.
Your brother built that
No
door?
way.
He built that door with his own bare hands.
What film is Fall Guy?
Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling.
They shot it in
Ryan
Australia?
Gosling. Oh, Ryan Gosling. I thought you meant Ryan Reynolds for a second. Ryan Gosling I'm more interested in. Yeah, okay.
Ja, er ist der Tischler. Er hat das Tor gebaut für Ryan Gosling. Er hat es gebrochen in The Fall Guy. Kaputt. Das Tor war so und dann Ryan Gosling kaputt. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah. The language really just sucks the humor out of it.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for listening. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Very attractive. Very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my. Is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.